comment on the indicators of the health and safety culture at the airport. 20 marks with a STEM asking us to use information from a scenario. Comment on. It's not asking what are the indicators, it's asking for us to comment on those indicators. Personally, I like to treat these questions the same sometimes. What are the indicators? Yeah, I'm going to write full answers for that. Comment on the indicators, I'm going to write full answers for that. Personally, I don't see a huge difference sometimes, as long as you can show what the indicators are and you can express an opinion about them maybe and explain yourself and refer to the scenario and show your understanding, you should be fine. For the purposes of this tutorial, let's take a look at the definition of the word comment. So, my computer listening to me, because my computer's listening to me, I'm pretty sure. Because I haven't even typed anything and it's already bringing comment up there. Right, comment definition. A verbal or written remark expressing an opinion or reaction. Right, so a comment question is asking you to express opinions. Opinions about the health and safety culture, or the indicators of the health and safety culture. So presumably in the scenario, there will be various indicators of health and safety culture. Don't worry, you're going to study all of that later in the course, but there'll be signs. That's what an indicator is. It's just a sign that the culture is good or bad. And that's my first point with this. It's not asking for just negative comments. No. This question is wide open. You can make positive statements about the culture, you can make negative statements about the culture. You can just do one or the other, or you can do a broad mix. It's up to you. Give us your opinions about the signs of the health and safety culture at the airport. And you could, if you wanted, just go, well, that's good, and that's bad, and that's bad, and that's good. You can mix it all up if you want to, or you could have a list of all the good stuff, and then you can say, but there's a lot of bad stuff too. Here's all the bad stuff. So the culture is actually a bit mixed. You are expressing an opinion about things. Let's take a look at another question here. We've got comment on how. Right, so we're kind of mixing two command words there. Comment on how. Comment on how management failures could have contributed to the exercise machine accident. So give your opinion on how the failures by management, or the failures in management systems maybe, something like that, but it's kind of like root cause level failures. Comment on how these management level failures could have contributed, at least, not maybe directly, but maybe indirectly as well, contributed to this exercise machine accident. What are in your opinion? Now, this question is going to be just negative, isn't it? Because the question is about management failures which led to an accident. There's nothing positive to say here. You're not talking positively about, oh, management did this really well and management did that really well. No, none of that's relevant. It's asking about comment on the management failures which could have contributed to the accidents. It's all going to be negative. Here's another one where it's all going to be negative. Comment on organizational factors that might have negatively influenced health and safety behavior at the nursery. And again, you don't know what organizational factors are, that's fine, you'll study those later in the course. But it's asking for the factors which had a negative influence, not a positive one. Now, NEBOSH, if they wanted to, they could ask the opposite. Different scenario maybe, they could ask what positively influenced health and safety behavior at the nursery. And on a good positive scenario, that might be fine. Here's another one. This is a legal question. F&W has duties under the Health and Safety at Work, etc. Act 1974. That's just a statement, just to set the scene, to tell you, right, here's the context, here's what we're after. Comment on how these duties may have been breached under Section 2. 10 marks. Right, okay. Purely Section 2. Comment. Give your opinion on how those duties may have been breached. Now we're going to get into law later in the course. So you'll have a number of different duties. There are quite a few different duties. Reading the scenario, you might be able to figure out which of those duties may have been breached by various things which were done or not done. And so you have to link what happened with the various duties and say, well, they've got a duty to do this. This is what they did, and I'm going to now explain why that is a breach of that duty. And you might have various breaches of the same duty. There might be lots of different ways in which they breached the same duty, and those may give you additional marks. So comment is to give an opinion, and later we're going to explain the P principle, point evidence explanation, and we are going to need point evidence explanation with this. You're going to have to write full answers that show understanding. You can't write one-word answers or lists. You can't express an opinion in one word or just a very short sentence. It's going to have to be full answers, 2 to 3 lines per comment. If it's a 10-mark question, I'm expecting somewhere in the region of 30 lines of text, each one giving me 2 to 3 lines per comment. There we are. More about how to structure your answers later, but that is what the word comment means.